back to the GSMC Baseball Podcast brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Sam Menzie, and we have a great show for you today. The first topic we'll be covering is talking about the recent games of baseball yesterday. Then we'll move into my power rankings because the week is over, so I did want to touch upon those. And in the final segment, we'll be going over the Mets City Connects jersey and my overall thoughts on just the meaning behind them and how they look in general. Now, before we do that, before we get into the show today, I would like to ask you to please like and follow the show. We do get a number of questions from viewers, so to ensure that your question does get read in the air, please use the link gsmcpodcast.net. It really does help the show, and it really does mean a lot, so thank you so much for that. And let's get straight into the show today. Alright, so as I talked about, the first segment is going to be recapping the baseball game from yesterday. Now, if you watch the show or you listen to it, you do know that usually I split this into two segments with the American League and the National League, just because there's a lot of baseball games that happen every day, and it wouldn't really fit into just one 15-minute segment. But yesterday, or most Thursdays, I should say as well, when it is Getaway Day, there is only a few baseball games, only 4 yesterday, supposed to be 5. There's one rain out, which I'll talk about, so I figured it was okay to put it into one segment. So yeah, it's just going to be one segment today, and then after that, we'll be going into the power rankings. It is Friday, so I did want to touch upon just what my power rankings are at the end of the week now. And we'll go from there. So the first game I did want to talk about was Angels and Rays, the last game of the series, I believe. It would not be a high-scoring game, as in the bottom of the first, Ahmed Rosario would hit an RBI triple to score Richie Palacios to make it 1-0 Tampa. Then, in the same inning, bottom of the first, Harold Ramirez would hit a sacrifice fly to score Ahmed, so making it 2-0 Rays in the early parts of the game. So good job by them to capitalize against this Angels team that's kind of been a little hot right now. Top of the sixth, Miguel Sano would hit a sacrifice fly to score Mike Trout to make it 2-1 Tampa, but the Angels would squander any other opportunity to score in this game, as they would end up losing 2-1. Top of the ninth, Miguel Sano would hit a single, then Joe Adell would also hit a single. Luis Rengifo would hit a single to move Miguel Sano to second. He would be pinch runner at this point, so it was actually Joe Adell. So it was Luis Rengifo on first, Joe Adell on second, who pinch ran for Sano. Man on first and second, 2 outs. Top of the ninth, but Brandon Drury would ground out to third baseman Curtis Mead, and the Angels would end up losing. So they would scour any opportunity to score there and end up losing this game to the Rays. For the Angels, they did have on the mound Griffin Canning. Canning went 5 1/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts, an 8.05 ERA in the season. Not good. An okay start there, I'd say. I think 5 1/3, 2 earned against a good Rays offense is fine. The 8.05 ERA isn't great for the season, but I think this start is maybe he can turn the page for the season. We'll have to see. For the Rays, they did have Ryan Pepio on the mound, who I am very high on, as I've said multiple times now on this show. Not the greatest start to the season with the 4.37 ERA, including the start, but this start was really good. 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts. A really strong start against this Angels offense that has kind of surprisingly been on fire. So, yeah, a really good start there, and I think that Pepio is going to be a big part of this Rays team for a really long time. I think he's a really, really good player, and I'm really just excited to watch him and his future and as it unfolds. Next game we have is going to be Rangers and Tigers. Actually, I'm going to save that game for the last one, so we'll skip that because that is the most exciting game. I wanted to talk about that in full. So, yeah, just that. But we're going to go to our next game, which is going to be a battle of two red teams, Guardians and the Red Sox. It's been a good series so far, so let's see if it continues. Bottom of the first, Wilyer Abreu would hit an RBI ground out to score Jarren Duran to make it 1-0 Boston in the bottom of the first. Then in the top of the third, Andres Gimenez would hit an RBI single to score Gabriel Arias to make it 1-1. Then top of the fourth, Josh Naylor would break open the tie with an RBI single to make it 2-1 Cleveland and give them the lead, of course, scoring David Fry. Top of the fifth, Andres Gimenez would hit an RBI single again to make it 3-1 Cleveland, adding on to their lead. Then Jose Ramirez would ground into a force out to make it 4-1. Moving to the top of the sixth, we would have Ramon Laureano hit an RBI single to score Tyler Freeman to make it 5-1 Cleveland. Then the bottom of the sixth, the Red Sox would have an RBI triple from Jarren Duran, his first triple of the year, to make it 5-3. Then Jarren Duran would score on the balk with Tristan Casas batting to make it 5-4. But unfortunately, the Red Sox would not score after that, would not come back, ended up losing this game to the Guardians 5-4, who have really just been on fire so far. I mean, we're going to talk about it later where I have the Guardians in my power rankings, but it's going to be high. They've been a really good team so far, and they've been really surprising a lot of people, including myself. I did not think they would be this good, and yeah, I mean, props to them, really. For the Red Sox, they had an opener on the mound, and it was Bernardino. Bernardino only went 2 innings, giving up no hits, no runs, 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. So, I mean, obviously as good as you can do for an opener, really. I mean, 2 innings pitched, no hits. That's kind of the ultimate dream for you. After that, they also had Cooper Criswell out of the mound. They also had Joe Jock, Justin Slayton, and Chris Martin out of the mound, who are all really solid. None of them, Cooper Criswell and Jock gave up 8 earned runs, but that was it. So, yeah, good job by the pitchers here. Cooper Criswell did give up 4 runs, but only 1 was earned, so you could argue it was the Red Sox defense fault they lost that game, but still nice pitching outings by their guys. For the Guardians, they had Carlos Carrasco on the mound. I almost said Correa for some reason. He went 5 2/3, giving up 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Again, proving to just be a really solid pitcher so far for the Guardians. You know, when they signed him, I kind of thought it was just a publicity stunt. I don't know why that was so hard coming out of my mouth, but yeah, publicity stunt just to bring the old guy back in Cleveland. I mean, everyone really loves Cokie back there, so I thought it was that, and it might have been that, but he's done really well so far with them. He's provided some quality innings as a depth piece, especially losing Shane Bieber. You might lose Tristan McKenzie in the near future. We'll see what happens with that, but I think that Carlos Carrasco has proven to be still a good MLB pitcher and definitely a really good depth piece. So if the Guardians do sell at the deadline, I could see a lot of teams targeting Carrasco to be a 5 guy in the rotation and then a really good long relief guy to the bullpen for a playoff team. So we'll see about that. But right now the Guardians are good, so I don't think they'll be selling anytime soon. But I think Carrasco has proven to be has a really valuable asset right now. Has proven to be a really valuable asset right now to the Guardians, and yeah, has pitched really, really well. The next game I want to talk about was Diamondbacks and Giants. Bottom of the third, Lamont Wade Jr. would have sacrificed fly to Corbin Carroll to make a 1-0 Giants, scoring Patrick Bailey. Bottom of the eighth, Wilmer Flores with an RBI double to score Jung-Hoo Lee and Lamont Wade Jr. against his former team to make it 3-0. Then Mike Yastrzemski with an RBI single to score Jorge Soler and Austin Slater to make it 5-0 San Francisco. The Diamondbacks would not score at all during this game, would squander any opportunity whatsoever to do it, so would really not get many opportunities, only 3 hits. So yeah, unfortunate game for them, hoping they can bounce back in the next one. They did have Ryan Nelson on the mound, who was a good opener, 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, no 1 runs. Then the long guy who came in was Logan Allen. He went 4 2/3, giving up 3 hits, 1 earned run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, 1.93 ERA. Really solid out of the bullpen, really solid bulk guy for you. I think with the injuries you've sustained, like Eduardo Rodriguez, I think having a guy like Logan Allen is really important and a really good idea, so good job there. For the Giants, they had Logan Webb, who was, like most times, absolutely phenomenal. 7 innings pitched, 2 hits, no 1 runs, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 2.93 ERA in the season. I mean, Logan Webb has proven time and time again for a few years now that he is one of the premier pitchers in baseball. He is a true ace, a really, really great pitcher, and just continues doing it. I mean, I've talked many times about my love for this Diamondbacks team, and I think their offense is outstanding, and having a start like this when your team is struggling, you're playing another struggling team you want to, kind of differentiate from, get out of the pack a little bit. That's a great start, and once Blake Snell gets going, once you get the guys like Robbie Ray and Alex Cobb back, I think that the Giants rotation is going to be really, really great. A lot of teams are going to have to worry about them, so yeah, a really great start there, and Logan Webb is so good. And again, once Blake Snell gets back to being Blake Snell, we all know of, that top 2 is going to be nasty. Now, the final game I wanted to talk about, which I pushed back before, which it is going to be Rangers and Tigers, the most exciting and notable game of the day yesterday. It was Jack Leiter's MLB debut as well. He was starting, so we're going to be talking about that, of course, but first we'll be going to the offensive side of it. So in the top of the first, Marcus Semien would help out his rookie pitcher with a solo shot, his 3rd home run of the year, to make a 1-0 Rangers, opening and scoring early in the top of the first. Top of the second, Wyatt Langford with an RBI double to score Josh Smith to make it 2-0. Then a Jonah Heim 2-run home run would make it 3-0. Texas scoring Wyatt Langford. Would make it 4-0. Bottom of the second, the Tigers would come back a little bit with a Javier Baez RBI double to score Colt Keith. Then a Carson Kelly RBI groundout to score Gio Urshela. Then Riley Green with an RBI triple to score Javier Baez to make it 4-3. Then Mark Canha would tie up the game with an RBI single to make it 4-4. This all happened in the bottom of the second, by the way, so a really rough outing for Leiter in this inning. So, that is also something to keep in mind. Kind of was just one inning. He also got unlucky a little bit with the defense, so I think that's something to take into account. Adolis Garcia in the top of the third would break the top. Sorry about that. Would break up the tie with a solo home run to his 5th of the year to make it 5-4 Texas. Then Ezekiel Duran would reach on a fielder's choice, scoring Wyatt Langford to make it 6-4 Texas in the top of the third, so they would break up the tie again. Really nice job by this offense. Top 4, Evan Carter would hit a sacrifice fly to score Marcus Semien to make it 7-4, but the Tigers would attempt to come back, as in the bottom of the 4th, Kerry Carpenter with an RBI triple to score Riley Green and Mark Canha. So a really great job by Carpenter, proving to be a really great young bat for this Tigers team and has been all year. So that's someone that's really, really been good, a really big part of their future. Then a Spencer Torkelson RBI double, his 7th of the season already. Really nice job in the doubles department for him. He would score Kerry Carpenter to make it tie up the game at 7-7. So a great job by the Tigers offense to, come in clutch against this rookie pitcher, take advantage of that, and tie up this high-scoring game. Then in the top of the 8th, Corey Seager would reach on a fielder's choice, scoring Leody Taveras, moving Marcus Semien to 2nd to make it 8-7 Texas in the top of the 8th. Top of the 9th, Leody Taveras would add on some endurance runs, making it 9-7 Texas with a RBI single to score Josh Smith. So the Tigers would not come back after that, and the Rangers would win this great game 9-7. As we talked about, they had the rookie Jack Leiter on the mound, who went 3 2/3, giving up 8 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts, and having a 17.18 ERA now for his MLB career. Now, it wasn't the best start, of course. I mean, he gave up 7 earned runs, that is a fact, but at the same time, the Rangers' defense was not good whatsoever. They did not help him. Some misplayed balls in the outfield that probably should have been ruled errors. So I think you have to take the ERA with a grain of salt, but overall, I think his stuff looked pretty good. His fastball was pretty good. His off-speed was working well, so I think it's, if he can become a really legit MLB pitcher for the Rangers, this team becomes so much better. You have so much more depth in that rotation, especially now with the guys being hurt. We just got a report that Max Scherzer might be ahead of schedule and come back late May to early June. So we'll see about that. You get DeGrom back, but if Jack Leiter can prove to be a really good pitcher again, the guy that they thought they were getting, drafting him by 2nd overall, he kind of hasn't been throughout his professional career so far. I think that makes this Rangers team so much deeper, so much better, and that's really what they're hoping for right now. For the Tigers, they had on the mound Kenta Maeda, the new signing, who was not good. 2 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 6 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, 3 home runs allowed, a 7.64 ERA in the season so far in 17 innings and 4 starts. Not what you want if you're a Tigers fan. I think Maeda was signed to be a veteran starter for this younger Pirates staff and just Pirates team in general. So definitely need Maeda to pitch better, especially with the contract you gave him. So that's something to look out for right now. Him, Flaherty, the big additions to the pitching staff. Also some bullpen guys like Shelby Miller, Andrew Chafin. But I think Maeda is the biggest one right now. You need him to pitch better, especially having a multi-year contract. So that's something to watch out for. If he can pitch better, I think this makes this Tigers team a lot better. So yeah. All right, so that was the first segment here today, talking about the games from yesterday. Just some action I wanted to talk about. So yeah, we'll be going to our second segment now, which is talking about my power rankings, the end of the week one's American League for the second segment. So yeah, we'll be going over that, and we'll see you after the break. So thank you so much, and see you then. Bye.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I wanna wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Welcome back to the GSMC Baseball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We're going into our second segment here, which is talking about the American League Power Rankings for this so far in the year, for my opinion. But before we do that, I'd like to ask you again to please like and follow the show. We do get a number of questions from viewers, so to ensure that your question does get read in the air, please use the link gsmcpodcast.net. It really does help the show, and it really does mean a lot, so thank you so much for that. And let's get into our second segment of the day here. So yeah, it's basically what it sounds like, the American League Power Rankings so far in the year. We're a little bit into the year. I'd say it's most teams have played around 20 games, give or take. So, it is the end of the week, and it's my second time doing this. The first time was just kind of for fun, we're only a few games into the season, and there were some crazy teams in the top of the divisions and all that. So right now, it's kind of evened out a little bit. A lot of surprises still, a lot of things we expect to happen still. So I just wanted to give my 2 cents on it and just tell you what my power rankings are. So yeah, we're going to start off, we're going to go from 15 to 1, and let's get into it. So at number 15 for the American League, I have, at no surprise, the Chicago White Sox. Now, I think it's pretty clear that the White Sox and the A's are both in contention for the worst team in the American League by roster. I think both teams are pretty horrible, and yeah, so I think it wasn't that hard to decide who was 15 this week because of the records, but yeah, I do have the White Sox 15. They're 3-15. They just lost a bunch of people to injury, including Yohan Moncada and Luis Robert. So I don't just Yohan Moncada, actually. Sorry. So yeah, they're not good. They just lost some of their players to injury, anyways. Kind of easy to say here. They're not good. So we're gonna move on from them. We pretty much know they're one of the worst teams in baseball. Not really a surprise. At number 14, I have, of course, the Oakland A's. Now, the A's are 8-11, which is shocking to everyone. Believe me, it's shocking to me as well. But I still have to have them at 14. Their team is still not good. There's really nothing exciting about this if you are an A's fan. I don't know what there is to look forward to right now. Esther Ruiz was just brought back up, which was a nice thing for you guys. But this roster's still bad, the team's still bad, the organization's still bad. So I do have you guys at 14, even though you are 8-11. I expect you will come back down to earth pretty shortly. I don't think you'll have a good record whatsoever. Not that 8-11 is, but 8-11 for the A's would be like the Dodgers having 40 wins. So it's a big surprise. At number 13, it's number 13 now. It's basically where the real power rankings start, because we all know what 15 and 14 would be. I have a big surprise here, which is, unfortunately, the Minnesota Twins. Now, I was really high on the Twins, like a lot of people. I thought they were clearly one of the top 4 AL teams. In the American League. I thought they were really, really good. They had a lot of great pieces, but injury bug has hit them hard. It has hit them really, really hard. Right now you have Kyle Farmer having significant playing time at shortstop, which not something you really want if you're trying to compete in the AL Central. So you have that. Carlos Correa has been hurt, of course. That's where Kyle Farmer comes in. Royce Lewis has been hurt. Your pitching hasn't been the best so far. Your bullpen's been hurt, and it's been, again, not the best. So it's really just injuries right now for the Twins, and I think the worry for them is, can they stay afloat? They're 6-11 currently. Can they stay afloat? Can they get to 500? And then once everyone comes back, I do think they'll be fine. I think the lineup is great with stars like Correa and Buxton, who need to stay healthy. Buxton might just get hurt eventually, so we'll have to see. But I think you guys have to stay healthy. But right now, it is unfortunate for the Twins. I still think they're a really great team. It's just unfortunate how things have fallen for them. And I do have them here at number 13. At number 12, I also have a big surprise, which is the Houston Astros. Now, I think the Astros deserve to be here right now. I think it's a little different from the Twins. As the Twins, I see little problems. For the Astros, I kind of see big problems. The Twins, like the Astros, have injuries, but the Astros have more than that. Yeah, they have, first of all, way more injuries. You're getting Verlander back today, which is exciting. He's going to start against the Nationals, so we'll be tuning into that and probably making a short on it later in the day. So if you want to see that, go ahead. But the Astros have more injury problems, I guess, which I do have them above the Twins, yes, but at the same time, you have guys like Verlander, like Valdez, like Luis Garcia, Lance McCullers, Jose Urquidy being hurt, Josh Hader's been bad, your bullpen's length is a problem, so the Astros have a lot of problems, like the Twins, that's why they're at number 12. I think the Twins might be able to come back from it soon. I'm not sure about the Astros, and I'm not sure when the injuries are going to be fully healed, but I do have them at number 12 just because I think they're kind of the same in kind of the same situations right now, and when they're fully healthy, I do have the Astros over them, but it's kind of a swap right now. I think that you can put them in any order. I wouldn't be mad, but yeah, that's where I have them right now. At number 11, I have the Seattle Mariners, who are 9 and 10. Now, the Mariners have been really disappointing for me so far in this year, almost 20 games in. I mean, your young pitching that I expected to be the forefront of your team has really not been that good. Guys like Luis Castillo, George Kirby have really, really struggled. So I think that's been the big deal. Your offense honestly hasn't been that bad, but Julio's been struggling, I will say as well. Julio struggling is definitely one of the bigger things I would worry for. So there are just simply players underperforming right now for the Mariners, and that is why I think they are 9 and 10, and that's why I have them at number 11. So I think they might be getting a little bit unlucky, and once these guys come back to earth and play up to their potential, I think the Mariners could be a really, really good team, and I'm excited about watching them. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts on the Mariners. I do have them at number 11, but I expect them to climb up this list pretty fast. I had them much higher than this on my rankings before, so yeah. At number 10, I do have the Boston Red Sox, who are 500, and number 10 spot are 10 and 10. So the Red Sox have been the surprise of the year so far. They started off doing really, really well. Granted, they had some easy series. Again, they had played the A's, so they did have some easy series there. But at the same time, their young pitching was doing really well. Their offense is doing really well, but the injury bug has really, really destroyed them right now. Tyler O'Neill was just placed on the 7-day IL with a concussion. Rafael Devers has been placed on the IL with an injury. Garrett Whitlock, one of their shining starters so far this year, a guy who's really, shown himself to be a good rising young starter so far at least, just got placed on the injured list with an oblique strain. You had Lucas Giolito, of course, being out for the year before it even started, so that was another thing. So the injury bug is really hit the Red Sox hard, and they were overperforming, but at the same time, I do have them at number 10 just because of that. I don't think they're as good as they were before, and the injuries now, I do think they're going to start falling this list and falling down, down, down. So we'll be watching them and seeing what does happen there. At number 9, I have the Detroit Tigers. Kind of a fall from grace here. I had them at top 3 in my last AL Power Rankings, which was 2 weeks ago, but they started off really hot, 5-0. But since then, they're 5-9. And they are 10 and 9 now for the season. So they've come back down to earth a little bit. I don't think they're as good as going 5-0, but I also don't think they're as bad as going 5-9. I think they're a team that is a little bit above 500, probably a team that is going to have 84, 85 wins. I don't know if that'll be good enough to make the playoffs in the AL, but that's the type of team I do think the Tigers are. I think they're just a pretty good team. Nothing extraordinary, not a great team, but just a pretty good team. So yeah, they have fallen a little bit in 9. I have some teams with worse records above them, including number 9 and including number 8. But I think Tigers can get back up here. I still think they're a good team. It's just the rough streak they've been on right now is a little bit rough. Obviously, that's why it's a rough streak. So we'll have to see how they come back from that, and we'll have to see what happens there. At number 8, I have the Angels at 9 and 10. Now, I think a lot of people are going to question themselves as why are the Angels at 8 when they're 9 and 10. They're also the Angels. We know about them and their team and who they've lost. So, this could be me being a little bit high in them, but I thought about this a lot, and this is one of the main things I wanted to highlight. I think this was one of my more out of the box selections here for the Angels being at number 8. So for them being at number 8, my rationale was the offense has been really, really good. Mike Trout has been on fire. Anthony Rendon hasn't even been that bad. I mean, he's not been good, but he's been getting some nice hits there. Your young hitters have been performing like Logan O'Hoppe, Zach Neto. Your pitching has been bad, but I think Mike Trout having a resurgence and finally getting back to the Mike Trout he has been is really, really great for you guys. I think it helps your team a lot. So I do have the Angels at number 8. I think they could surprise some people with what they do this season. Do I still think they're a playoff team? No. Do I think they're even going to be close to a wild card team? No. But I think they could surprise some people. I think they could finish over 500, especially if Trout keeps doing what he's doing. I think he's really what defines this team, Mike Trout, and how he does perform. So I'll be watching him, and however he does perform, that's how I think the Angels will perform. So yeah, that's what I'm watching here. At number 7, I have the Toronto Blue Jays at 10-9. For the Blue Jays at number 7, it was pretty simple. I think they're a really good team. Their pitching has come in handy. Kevin Gausman, once he gets back fully from that injury and starts performing like Kevin Gausman again, they're going to be even better. Their offense has been good. They just had a nice series against the Yankees where they beat them. So, yeah, I think the Blue Jays have been doing really well, and I think they're a really good team. And I think 7 is the perfect spot for them. I think really 7 and 5, I'm okay with any order for these teams. I think any order is honestly perfectly fine. So I'll tell you the teams I have here, and then you can really decide who you want. But that's what the order I had was. At number 6, I had the Tampa Bay Rays at 11-9, who are 11-9. They are my number 6 team. So this is where the playoff teams would start. So for the Rays, the reason I had them here at number 6 was I think their pitching's done really well. Zach Eflin is amazing. I think Ryan Pepiot is going to be awesome after that. They're getting some pitchers back as well as season goes on, so that deals into it. Ahmed Rosario has been great since coming over the Rays. Their starts have been performing. Randy's been great. Isaac Paredes has been great. So overall, I just think the Rays are a really good team right now. I think some of the issues I had with them have kind of gone away. I think if Ahmed can continue playing like this, he can be the guy that fills in for Wander Franco at short. I'm not sure if it's going to be full-time or a long-term, but that is something that is a positive there. Brandon Lau was placed on the injured list, so that's a negative, but you're going to have Cam Marino come up soon, I think, and he's going to be really, really good. I would have him up now already, but again, the Rays know more about his situation than I do, so overall, I am really happy with the Rays, with what they're doing right now. I think they have a lot more going for them as season goes on as well, so yeah, I think they're a great team, and I think they're going to keep getting better, and that's why I have them at number 6. At number 5, I have the Texas Rangers at 11-9. I think the Rangers have a lot going for them. I think their offense is amazing, of course. Wyatt Langford, while he has struggled a little bit, I still think he's going to be really, really good. Ended up running away with that AL Rookie of the Year. So I think the offense has extraordinary pieces. I think the pitching has been solid, a little bit better than I expected. So 11-9, I think 5 is a really good spot for this Rangers team. I think this is where they probably would be anyways. So yeah, a really good job by them and having a really good season so far. So in a disappointing AL West so far with the Astros being 6-14, the A's being the A's, the Angels being under 500 still, I think the Rangers have proven themselves to be just as good still and kind of not letting any of this get into their head. Moving into the top 4, we have at number 4 a surprise team, the Kansas City Royals. Now, the Royals have been really, really good. They swept the Astros, who, again, we talked about have some problems and are not the Astros of the past, but are still a really good team. The Royals have had a lot of great contributors. I mean, your rotation has been great. Cole Reagans, Brady Singer, Michael Wacha, Seth Lugo. I think that might be one of the better top 4s in the league right now. Offense has come together with Salvador Perez playing really well, Vinny Pasquantino, Bobby Witt, Nelson Velasquez has been a stud. Michael Garcia has been great. MJ Melendez. So I think the Royals have had a lot of great pieces. They've been a really great team. Their bullpen has been nice as well. Guys like Chris Stratton, James McArthur, Will Smith. So the Royals have a lot going for them right now. I think they're a really, really good team. And yeah, I'm really happy for them. And they've been really, really good. And I don't think having them at 4 right now is a stretch. At 3, I have a team in their same division, the AL Central, the Cleveland Guardians at number 3, 13-6. I don't think anyone expected the Guardians to be doing what they are doing right now. I mean, they have been really, really good. The offense has been firing on all cylinders. It's been really nice. The young hitters have been performing. The pitchers, even after Bieber has gone down with Tommy John, have been doing really, really well. So, yeah, the Guardians have just been firing on all cylinders. They've been great. They've surprised a lot of people, including myself. I really have loved what they've been doing so far. So, yeah, just a great, great season for them right now. And they're at number 3, so I think that's pretty great for them. Now, number 2 and number 1, we already know who it is. It's going to be the Yankees and the Orioles. We can put them any order we want, but I have the Yankees at 2 right now, 13-6. You know, they got off to an incredible start, but they've kind of fallen back down to earth a little bit. I mean, still 13-6 is incredible, but they lost the series against the Blue Jays just before. They've been struggling with the offense. The last game against the Blue Jays was nice. You know, having that Aaron Judge single in the extra innings coming back after blowing that lead was really good. But they've had some days where the offense hasn't been performing. The pitching has been less than stellar. So they do have some risks right now and some things to worry about. But they're still 13-6 and they're still pretty great. That's why I did put them at number 2, and I have the Orioles jumping them for the number 1 spot. The Orioles have been so good. I mean, they're 7-2 in their last 9, 12-6 overall in the year. They're a great team. Corbin Burns has been an amazing addition so far, has been that true ace that they're looking for. Jackson Holiday, while he hasn't gotten off to a good start, I still believe in him. I still think he's going to be a great, great player for them. So, yeah, the Orioles have a lot going for them right now. A lot of great young talent, a lot of great young pitchers, which is something I lacked before. I think Corbin Burns, that addition just has been such a game changer, such an organization changer, honestly, as well. So, yeah, the Orioles have been really great so far, and that is why I do have them at number 1 in my American League Power Rankings. So, that is our segment 2 here, talking about the American League Power Rankings. We're going to our third segment, which is going to be talking about the National League Power Rankings, and just, you know, same thing I did for the American League. So, yeah, we'll see you after the break, and we'll talk about it then. So, thanks, and bye.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
And we're back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our third segment, which is going to be talking about the National League Power Rankings. And before in the show, I did the American League Power Rankings. So, yeah, just pretty simple. We're going to do the National League now. So I do split these up into leagues because I can't talk about all 30 teams in one segment, 15 minutes. So I didn't know if I should do, when I started doing the show for the regular season, I was debating if I would do 30-15 and then 14-1. But I decided instead I should just do leagues and break it up. But if you guys want one Friday to have it 30-15 and then 14-1 and just have the whole league combined, please let me know in the comments or let me know in the chat now if you want as well, if you're watching live. But yeah, those are two things I debated. I finally settled on putting it into leagues, but yeah. But let me know if you want me to change it. So we're going to go straight into the power rankings here for the National League. At number 15, it is the team we all expect, the Miami Marlins. The Marlins have just been an absolute disaster this year. I mean, geez, they've been so bad. I don't know what to say about them that hasn't been said. They've been a disaster. Their pitching's been bad. Their hitting's been bad. Their bullpen's been bad. There's not much else to say that hasn't been said about this team. They are not good at baseball right now, and they really do not have much light at the end of the tunnel. So, yeah, not a fan of the Marlins, obviously, right now. And Not a fan of what they're doing. At number 14, I have the Rockies, who are also 4-15. I debated between the Rockies and Marlins, but I think the Rockies at least have some things to look out for. I think they play in cores, which helps their offense, of course, while the Marlins just have nothing. So I think the Rockies have that. Some of their pitchers have been doing decent. Some of their hitters have been nice as well. So it's really the same level of bad for 15 and 14. So I just put the Marlins there because I thought they were a little bit worse with how they started the season as well. But also with the Rockies, apparently they're under federal investigation, which was something that came out today. Their hitting coach, Henley Mullins, was shown flying their team plane to whatever destination they were in, and the pilot's just watching him and laughing, which was, I guess, is breaking federal rules where you just can't have a civilian fly a plane if it's no emergency, which is kind of crazy. I don't know if I'm getting the whole details of that story right, but I guess look up their hitting coach, Henley Mullins, if you want to see it. Posted that video on Instagram as well, so he kind of ratted out himself. But yeah, that's an interesting story as well. If we get more updates on that, I'll talk about that. But yeah, that was something I saw about the Rockies. So I think baseball might be the least their worries right now if they really do get penalized for that. So we'll have to see there. But yeah. At number 13, I have the Washington Nationals, who are 8-10. Now, the Nationals recently have been doing really well, honestly. They just beat the Dodgers in a series, which is really surprising. So I did have them. So as much as I do have them at 13, I still think they're really, really good. And I think that they have a lot going for them right now. They have a lot of great young talent. Their hitting core is finally coming up. It's finally establishing themselves. I think C.J. Abrams has been doing has been doing a great job of showing Nationals fans who he is and why he is so great and why he was a top prospect and kind of the savior of that franchise, quote unquote. So the young players have finally been performing. I think the pitching is the big problem, but you just had Jake Irvin had a really nice start against the Dodgers, so we could see him get more run time for them. So a lot going right now for the Washington Nationals and their young core. 8-10 really isn't that bad compared to what we've seen out of them over the past few years. So I think if you're a Nationals fan, you have a lot to be looking forward to right now. So yeah, I mean, they've been doing really, really well, even though they are 8-10, and we'll be watching them in the future. At 12, we have the St. Louis Cardinals, who are currently 9-10. Now, this is kind of where I expected the Cardinals to be, maybe a little bit higher, but around this part, kind of 12-9 in the power rankings. So Cardinals are what everyone expected them to be. Have a really nice, solid offense, but the pitching just is horrible. I mean, Sonny Gray's been great, but after that, no one else has been. Miles Michaelis is bad. Steven Matz is bad. Lance Lynn is bad. Kyle Gibson is bad. So I don't know what they were thinking signing these guys. I talk about it so much. I don't know why the Cardinals did that. I don't know why they like torturing their fan base. There's good people in St. Louis. I don't know why you're doing this to yourselves, but so that's the thing I want to talk about there with them. So I think once their pitching improves, they'll be a better team. I mean, 9-10 is kind of better than I thought they would be. So yeah, it shows you how stacked the NL is right now with them being 9-10 and being number 12 in my rankings. So they do have some young pitchers coming up, like a guy like Tink Hence is someone I'm watching and I think could be really, really good for the future. Gordon Graceffo is someone else that could come up soon. So they do have some young pitchers on the way, but as of right now, since they're not up, I do have them at number 12 here. At number 11, I have the San Francisco Giants. Talked about them today, the bright spots with that Logan Webb amazing start, amazing win as well. So I think the Giants have a lot going for them. That is good. I think they have one of the better pitchers in baseball in Logan Webb. But the thing is, just their players are not performing currently. I think once they do, they'll be fine. Matt Chapman has been underperforming a little bit. So has Blake Snell, but he's only had 2 starts. Jorge Soler's been good, but I don't think as good as you would like him for just a DH. So overall, I just think for the Giants, it's nothing to worry about long term. I just think their guys need to start performing like their guys, start performing like, what they paid them like, the guys that, they paid them to be and that they have been in the past. So, yeah, not too much to worry about if I'm a Giants fan, but you'd like to see them get it going sooner rather than later. Moving into the top 10 now, I have the Cincinnati Reds at 9-9. Now, the Reds were a team I thought would be doing much better right now, but they've kind of gotten into some bad luck with just the other NL Central teams being way better than them and just outperforming expectations by a long shot. So, for the Reds, 9-9. Their pitching has been really nice. Their hitting's been nice, but the thing with the hitting is it's been just beaten down by injuries. I mean, they've lost so much infield depth that I think is finally starting to affect them. Ellie De La Cruz has been great, but, the DH spot has been affected. Nick Martini is getting regular at-bats there. You have Jonathan India playing every day again, which is obviously not something you wanted since you're trying to trade him and sign his replacement, really, and traded for his replacement multiple times. So I think the Reds have just been hit hard by the injury bug, like a lot of teams here. So I don't think they'll stay 99 for a little while. I think they'll be back in business and doing pretty well sooner rather than later. So yeah, that's my overall thoughts on the Reds. I still think they're a really good team, and I think they have a lot going for them. But the injury bug has hit them hard, and they need to get going. At number 9, I have the Arizona Diamondbacks, who are 9-11. Now, they are 2 games worse than the Reds. Why did I have them over them? Well, it's because I still think the Diamondbacks are still an amazing team. I have them as the 3rd team in the NL, and I don't go off of that just roster-wise. I think they are the 3rd best team in the National League, and they're getting some reinforcements as well. Like a lot of teams here, including the Reds, including the Giants, including the Reds, including the Cardinals, and the Giants, who just underperforming. I think the Diamondbacks have been hit hard by injuries. They had Eduardo Rodriguez, who had a setback with his original injury, which was supposed to be a month. Now he's going to be out for, I'd probably say a little while longer, probably a few months or so. So that was something that is a negative. But you're getting Jordan Montgomery in there soon. He's going to make it sick. He's going to make consistent starts for you guys. Starting, I think today actually is his first start, so we'll have to see about that. But yeah, I mean, I still think the Diamondbacks are a really great team. I still believe in them. I still think they're one of the better teams in the National League. So I put them at 9, but I still think they're great. And I don't think that this is indicative of their ability. It's just what's happened right now. And yeah, I'm still watching them. Yes, so actually it is Montgomery versus Snell tonight, 2 of the Boris 4, which is going to be very, very interesting. So that's something I'm definitely going to be watching. Diamondbacks and Giants, Snell versus Montgomery, so that'll be fun. So yeah, we'll see if Montgomery can provide that spark the Diamondbacks need in that rotation. And yeah. At number 8, I have one of the biggest falling teams of the power rankings, which is the Pittsburgh Pirates at 11-8. Pirates got off to a really hot start, but have since come back down to earth a little bit. They got swept by the Mets, and just overall they haven't been doing that great recently. I still think they're a really great team. They've proven me wrong, definitely. Their pitching has been much better than I expected it to be. You just lost Mark Gonzalez to the 15-day IL, which is unfortunate, but you still have Martin Perez, Jared Jones, who's been absolutely phenomenal. You just called up Quinn Priester, actually. We're not sure when he'll make his MLB debut, but that's a big calling up. Jared Jones has been phenomenal. Mitch Keller you have there. So, yeah, the Pirates still have a good team. I think the pitching is the biggest key. I wasn't as high in it as I might should have been, but I think the Pirates have proven me wrong right now, and they've been really, really good. So, yeah, they're a team I'm watching, and yeah, even though they did fall, I still think they're a good team. It's just them going back down to earth. At number 7, I have the San Diego Padres at 11-10. Yes, they're only 1 game over 500, but unlike some teams here, they played a lot of games. So, I mean, the Braves have only played 17, so they've gotten lucky with that. But the Padres are 11-10, but they just beat the Dodgers in a series, and they have a lot of great pieces right now. This thing is, they just lost Yu Darvish to injury, which is a big blow to them. So I think the Padres are still a really great team. I still think they have a lot of pieces. I mean, of course, Dylan Cease. Michael King just had an amazing start versus the Brewers. So Padres have a lot going for them, but only 1 game above 500. You just lost one of your better pitchers to the injured list in Yu Darvish. So I think that's something else. That's something you have to take into consideration with the Padres right now. So 7, they're number 7 here, but they can easily get back up if they get more over 500. So yeah. Going into the playoff teams, quote unquote, because this is the top 6, and 6 teams make the playoffs for each league. So number 6, I have the Chicago Cubs, who are 11-7. The Cubs have really surprised me. 4 games above 500 is a really, really great sign. I mean, the pitching's been on point so far. I think the hitting core has been surprisingly done well. You just lost Seiya Suzuki, which is a big blow, but Alexander Canario came up, and I think he's a really great player, and I think he's a guy that can provide a lot of value for this young Cubs team. So overall, I think the Cubs still have a lot going for them. I still think they have a really good team, and I think that their hitting core is nice. I think the pitching core is doing well. So yeah, I'm watching the Cubs definitely, but I still think they're a good team, and that's why I do have them at number 6. So of course, you have the ace Justin Steele, who's only pitched one game. You're getting him back soon as well. So a lot of things going right for the Cubs right now. Number 5, I have the Phillies, who are 8-10. The Phillies started off a little bit rough, but have since come back to their normal, amazing selves. Ranger Suarez had a great start for them. Aaron Nola's been picking it back up. Zach Wheeler's been solid. I mean, he's been Zach Wheeler. So Phillies have had a lot of good pitching performances recently. Their lineup is always great. So yeah, definitely watching the Phillies and seeing how they are going to be doing. But they've been doing really well recently, and overall, just have been a pretty good team, and that's why I have them in the top 5 here. At number 4, I have the Milwaukee Brewers. Now the Brewers, kind of the same as the Phillies, have been really, really great, but they've also surprised a lot of people. I think, when they swept the Mets in that opening series, a lot of people were shocked, and I was as well. But you can kind of see why right now. Their offense has been playing really well. It's played with a chip on their shoulder, and it's shown. The defense has been great. The base running has been great. They've been just this little gritty team that has gotten wins and beaten some good teams like the Twins. So I think that the Brewers are really good. I think they don't really have that star now because of the guys they've lost, especially with Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff, but they still have a lot going for them. The pitching rotation has surprisingly been solid. Colin Ray's been good, DL Hall's been solid, and Freddie Peralta has really turned into that ace I think a lot of Brewers fans were hoping for. So yeah, a lot of good going for them right now. And yeah, just excited to watch them. And again, they're a really gritty team. We're going into the top 3 now. At number 3, you might call me crazy. You might say I'm biased. I don't think I am. I think this is where they deserve to be. They've proven it. At number 3 right now, I have the New York Mets. The Mets are 10-8, started 0-5, and are now as 10-3 since that, had beaten some good teams like the Royals, like the Pirates, facing the Dodgers tonight, which is their biggest test. If they can win that series, I might have to move them up to number 1. I mean, the Mets have just been absolutely amazing. Their pitching has been absolutely incredible, even without their best pitcher in Senga. The offense has been firing on all cylinders. I mean, guys like Brett Beatty, guys like Harrison Bader, who we didn't really expect anything from, have been great with the bat. The offense has been outstanding, even with one of their better hitters in Lindor, showing absolutely nothing at the plate right now. So the Mets, I think, deserve to be at the number 3 spot. 10-3 in their last 13. Started 0-5 and are still 2 full games above 500. They've been really, really good. I think they deserve to be at this number 3 spot, and I think it's really, really fair. And if you disagree with me, let me know in the comments. But I'll talk back. I'll fight back with my opinion, and I think the Mets deserve to be at this number 3 spot right now. Man, have they been impressive these past few weeks. Number 2 and 1, we all know who it is. It's the Braves and the Dodgers. I have the Dodgers at number 2 though, and not the Braves at number 1. I was thinking about the Yankees for some reason. I don't know why. So the reason I have the Dodgers at 2 and not number 1 is they have lost three out of their last 4 series, including a pretty embarrassing one to the Nationals. So those struggles are the reason I put them at number 2. But even with losing 3 out of 4 of their last series, they're 12-9 still, one of the better teams in the league. But I had them at number 2, not number 1, because the Braves are 12-5, and they have been really, really great. The Braves, like the Dodgers, have had some risks. I mean, they have had some negative storylines affect them. Ozzy Albies just fractured his foot. He'll be back soon, but still going on the injured list for 10 days. Spencer Strider's out for the year, which is, of course, a huge blow, which I had a whole segment about a few days ago. So if you want to watch that, please go ahead. But I think both these teams have risks right now. Both these teams have stuff to worry about, but they're still the elite of the NL. They're still great teams, and yeah, still having a great time watching them. So yeah. So that was the NL Power Rankings. Let me know in the comments, of course, both the NL and the AL, just my overall league power rankings. What are your thoughts on them? So yeah, we're moving on to our 4th and final segment now, which is talking about the Mets. They announced their City Connect jersey uniforms today. there's going to be more City Connects being announced in the future, so we'll be going over that. But yeah, going to our fourth and final break, and we'll see you then. Thanks, and bye.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
And we are back here on the GSMC Baseball Podcast, bringing you our fourth and final segment, which is talking about the Mets City Connect uniforms. So I did want to touch on this. Kind of the fourth segment is, just a little bit of fun here, talking about a nice, fun thing, jerseys. I love jersey designs. So yeah, we're actually going to show you the jerseys right now on stream. So if you want to see that, check out the video if you're watching an audio. But here is the, I'm going to go to it here. So, sorry, that was not the right thing. But yeah, here we go. It is the other one. So we'll be going to that one right here. So this is Edwin Diaz. Sorry, I'm going to pause that. One of my first times using the graphics here, so still a little bit rusty with it. But yeah, here is the Mets uniform. As you can see, Edwin Diaz is standing in it. So I wanted to kind of explain all the stuff about it. There was the Mets explained it, obviously. So first you have the connection. You have connection, quote unquote. So on the side of the sleeves there's a little purple sliver. So it's in a city connected by bridges. There's one that is notably Queens. We honor the truces of the majestic Queensboro Bridge across the front of our hat, on our jersey, and on our pants. So yeah, there's a little bridge on the Mets hat and across the uniform sometimes. So again, I don't know if I've talked about this, but I am from Queens. I'm a Mets fan from Queens, so I was actually hoping this uniform would say Queens instead of NYC, but at the same time, I understand they wanted to represent all of New York with the Mets jersey, and that's kind of in Cohen's vision. So I do understand, but kind of selfishly, as someone who's born and raised in Queens, I was hoping they would have done that, but I still like it. I think that was a good idea and just a really interesting one. I do like that they, again, tried to connect the whole city with these. So New Yorkers have, so another one is there's a little bit of kind of like a polka dot pattern, not really polka dot, but like connected. I don't really know how to explain it, but it's explained as New Yorkers have a choice to make local or express the circles and diamonds that make up the NYC subway system from the pinstripes on the jersey. So there you go. I think, again, nice job connecting it to the subway. Really good thing there. So I think that's pretty cool. In a city that feels like a ward of its own, we own the game. We own the name, the World City, which is very true. The World City is in purple, a little bit on the Mets jersey. This is very true. Growing up in Queens, it is one of the most diverse places you can see in the entire world. It is there. You can walk down a neighborhood and just see so many different people, and it's just so cool. And I really am so happy that I grew up here. And I think adding in the diversity of Queens into the jersey is something that's really nice. And the World City, I think that was a really nice touch here, and it is New York. New York is the World City, in my opinion. I think that's a really, really nice thing and a really good touch. In the city's most diverse borough, there is one train that represents all New Yorkers equally and brings you to our home. We weave purple throughout this uniform as an homage to the ultimate connector, the 7 line. If you don't know, the 7 line is the train that gets you to Citi Field and before Shea Stadium as well. So it is the number 7 on the train line is purple. So the Nike check is purple, and a lot of the design is purple. So again, I think that was really nice. I think that was a great job for the 7 to incorporate the 7 line into the jerseys. I think there probably should have been a little more purple on the jersey, in my opinion. When I saw the leaks and I saw the promo videos, I did think there would be more purple on the jersey. So that is one of my only critiques about this. I do think there should be more purple. I think it would have been cool, and I think it would have made a lot of sense. There is a sleeve patch as well that looks like a token with a Mets jersey with a Mets logo. So it explained as the sleeve patch is a nod to our past, taking its cue from the New York subway token, one fare to take you everywhere, and if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere. Again, great job again, incorporating the city and the subway into it. I think that's a great job. Finally, there's a tiny map of New York, apparently, of the subway station as well on the uniform. So nothing connects New York like the subway station, hidden between the concrete of the underbill, so it's very small. Like the subways under our streets, with the colors twisted on a map, the iconic NYC train lines are now tucked in your mind. So it's on the bill of the cap as well. That's something I think is really, really cool. I think it was a great decision by MLB to put so much New York into this and just make it so with the city. I think City Connect is living up to his name right now, and I think it was a great job by MLB to do this. I think the Mets designed it as well. They did a great job there. Apparently, both Brandon Nimmo and Francisco Lindor helped a lot with the designing of these jerseys. So I think that was a great job there by both Nimmo and Lindor. Both aren't from New York, but are honorary New Yorkers, I'd say, playing for the Mets for so long and being great players for us. So yeah, my overall thoughts on the jersey are that I like them. I do. I think that the gray is nice. I think the NYC is cool. Again, this isn't the most high quality picture I'm showing you right now, but if you can look it up anywhere right now. The Mets City Connects are everywhere. It was one of the biggest things that happened today. So if you want to get a better, more intimate viewing of the picture, just go online, of course. So, but I did want to give a visual image. So yeah, again, I'm a big fan of the jerseys. I think the gray is cool. I think the NYC is cool. I think the cap, by the way, is amazing. If you see the full close up of the hat, you have the Mets logo. Then under it, again, the Queensboro Bridge. So that's really, really sick. I think that's awesome. The hat was really amazing. We saw that before the jersey. I always loved the hat. I thought it was one of the better hats of all the City Connect jerseys. So again, I think with the connecting the city with the jersey, they did a good job. The only nitpicks I have is, again, I think there should have been more purple. I think a purple Mets jersey would have been really, really cool. Again, paying homage to the purple 7 line. And I think it also should have said Queens instead of New York City on the front. We play in Queens in New York City, so I think it would have been nice to see a borough on the front. You know, I think Manhattan's represented a lot. The Bronx represented with the Yankees. Brooklyn's always represented. They have the Nets. But I think Queens needs to be a little represented more within sports. I think the Mets should have taken the opportunity here. So, again, I understand why they did New York City instead of Queens. Steve Cohen has always said it's his mission to make this team for the entire city and kind of make us a brand as a sports team as well. He wants the Mets hat to be as recognizable as the Yankees hat. He wants that to be the hat that people wear, not because they're Mets fans, just because they like it and it's iconic. He wants to make the Mets a brand and to mark us with all of New York City instead of just boxing us within a borough of Queens. I do think it makes sense as someone who's from Queens. It does, I can be a little salty about it. It's okay. But if you're not from Queens, I understand, and I think it was a good business decision. Just from my personal grievance and where I am from, I do think I would have liked that. But yeah, so going away from just the Mets now, so we'll go off. So here's the Mets image. So yeah, we'll go back to the full screen from me here. The Guardians, Tigers, Dodgers, Met, Twins, Phillies, Cardinals, Rays, and Blue Jays will all unveil new City Connect jerseys between now and the All-Star break. So the Mets were obviously first. The Dodgers already have one, so that'll be interesting to see. The Phillies also unveiled theirs, which also I didn't mention. So yeah, those were interesting, I'll say. They were actually nice. I liked them. I didn't think they were really Philly jerseys, but I liked the color scheme of the blue and the yellow. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what these City Connect jerseys look like for all these teams. I think it's a really good job, MLB, what they've done all these years. I still think it was a great idea for them. I'm always up for cool-looking jerseys. And I'll probably order one, and if I do, I'll let you know how I like it. And yeah, just wanted to give my thoughts on the City Connect jerseys and of the Mets. I had a personal connection to it as I'm a Mets fan. I'm from New York City, so yeah. That is it. So that is it for our show today, guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. Remember to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram for more content and updates, all social media. Remember to subscribe to the channel. Subscribe and hit the post notification. It doesn't only help me. You don't only get notified when I upload, but also when all the other great content creators on this channel upload. So many, and it's only growing, so you want to be part of it. We'll be growing fast. Other than that, again, donate to the show. It really does mean a lot. GSMC Podcast on net. So that is it for the spiel at the end of the show, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later. Thanks, and bye.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day. Yeah, I'm tired of shit, and the coffee ain't hit yet, damn, ain't that great.